Recording.
We're recording. Hello, everyone. We're back. Say hi.
Hey.
Hi. We are back this Wednesday to show you some activities, some crafts, and some resources that will help you deepen your understanding of our Passover history lesson this week. If you haven't watched the video from Sunday yet, please start there, okay? Go to CCNLB.com, click on CCNLB Kids Lessons, and then click Show More under the video, and that will show you all of our lesson resources, the links, the videos, the activities, the homework instructions, and all of that. After you watch the video from Sunday, come back here for some fun extras to do this week. So let's go. She's showing you her staff, which we will talk about later. But let's first talk about our challenges and our challenge winner from Sunday. So our sword driller challenge winner for Sunday was Mimi and Neve. Neve was the first student to send me a picture of her reading her Bible, which was the challenge on Sunday that you needed to send to me by Wednesday.
Those were my friends.
Those are your friends.
And Jacob and his sister were second.
They were second. It was the first one the kids saw. So I got one text and one email, but the text came first. So those were Neve and Mimi were the winners. Okay. Let's see. She's in the Preschool-Kinder class. And so I
am too.
You are. Our next challenge is going to be a class challenge. So for Sunday, guys, here's the challenge, which I kind of already told you on Sunday. Show me your home.
We do not want to show you the brew.
Okay. I'm going to take this for a minute, and then you can have it back when we talk about it. All right. I told you on Sunday, show me your homework. Show me your memory verse that you learned your memory verse. And I'm also going to add, send me your questions. Show me your homework, your completed homework, your memory verse that you know it, and all the questions that you have this week as you're studying your history lessons, and message them to me. Message my phone if you have that. Send me an email to ayounger@ccnlb.com by Sunday, okay? When I get those responses, the class with the highest percentage of responses will win this challenge. So you'll get a point for showing me or telling me that you did your homework. You'll get a point. Send me a video of you saying your memory verse, or just have your parents text me. He knows the verse.
Or you can do this.
She knows the verse. Keep this on. It's for later. You can do it?
That's Jordan.
Thank you. And you'll also get a point for sending me your questions, which we will talk about later, okay? And then I will announce on Sunday the class, the winning class.
Yay.
So Wednesdays it will be a winning person for a sword drill, and Sundays will be the winning class, okay? So get those answers in. Speaking of memory verse.
I thought it was Wednesday.
I will announce it on Sunday.
Oh.
Yes. All right.
On the computer?
Yes, on our next video. Okay, speaking of memory verse, let's see who knows their memory verse.
Me.
Okay. We'll let Elisha start. Go.
But Ephesians 2:13. But now in Christ Jesus, you who once were far off have been brought near by the blood of Christ. Ephesians 2:13.
Ooh, I like it how you said it at the beginning and the end. Ephesians 2:13, that reference.
My turn.
Okay, Ezra, go for it.
Ephesians 2:13. But now in Christ Jesus, you who once were far off have been brought near by the blood of Christ. Ephesians 2:13.
Okay, yesterday it was a little bit shakier, but today it's really well. So keep practicing. Ellie, you want to say part of it? Okay, what part can you say?
The first part.
Okay, go ahead. Ephesians
2:13. But now in Christ Jesus, you were once far off, have been brought near by the blood of Christ.
Good job.
That was pretty good. Okay, so keep practicing.
Ephesians 2:13.
Hey, even better. Give me 5.
Yeah, even better.
Keep practicing your memory verse for this week.
Ephesians 2:13.
I'll put the link to the song down there.
The first one?
yesterday they were shaky, but I put that song on repeat, and then by the end, we were like doing motions, and they pretty much got it. So the power of music, it helps a lot. All right. Moving on. We can get right into our activities. So we got 4, show me 4. 4 activities or crafts resources that you can possibly do to help deepen your understanding of the Passover lesson this week. Before you do the activity, review the Passover story. I put a link down below. Click show more, and all of the links and all my information will show up down below this video. Okay. After you've reviewed the story, then activity number 1, you can observe yeast. Okay? I happen to have these little packets of yeast. Wait. These little packets of yeast. This one's open because this is the one we use. Not because I'm like super baker, but because I think about baking once.
You're a good baker, though.
I think about baking once every few years, and then I have the materials forever. Okay, so I have these little yeast packets.
Can we
here.
touch it and then glue it back into
We observed yeast yesterday. We did this experiment. It worked really well. I tried to do it again today to show you what happens, and it didn't turn out quite as well as yesterday. But anyway, so you'll mix some ingredients: sugar, flour, water in 2 bowls. In one bowl,
and an egg.
that's a different one. In one bowl, you'll put some yeast. In one bowl, you will not put yeast. Now remember.
And you'll put instant yeast and yeast.
Say remember.
Remember.
In the Bible, yeast is leaven, okay? And
Which is
Sin.
kind of like sin.
leaven represents the sin in our lives. So if you do this yeast in a bowl activity, you will see the difference between a life
That is good.
that's pure, and a life that has sin, okay? So I'm going to show you what we have here.
And cut.
Okay, here is a bowl that has no yeast and
With a lot of
a
pure
flour
in it.
with a lot of purity. Okay, be careful. I'm going to help you.
I
And
know
this
how to
one,
do it.
if you observe the yeast, oop, careful.
Whoa.
Okay, it looks kind of gross here. Let's see.
It's very bubbly. It's actually the bubbles.
Yes, it's kind of bubbly. Now, I'm going to show you on my phone
It absorbs.
from when we actually did it yesterday. Let's see. Keep your hands clean, okay?
Oh my gosh,
Let's see.
this is
Let me
like
show them.
This
It
is like
exploded.
Can you guys see that? Okay, not so well. But anyway, our yeast bowl yesterday, like totally exploded. And let's see.
The other one.
These were them. No, it's not showing up so well. But these side by side, one of them had yeast, one of them had no yeast. Oops, I zoomed in. Okay, this is not working very well. Anyway, let's show the other
This
one.
is so much like a density. I know.
And you can see the difference between the 2 bowls. So if you have some yeast laying around, you can see that that
Can we
activity.
touch it and then pull it up and then put
Let's
it back?
not
Do that
touch
right
it
now.
right now.
We could do it
Anyway,
We can do it at the end.
right.
Yep.
If you don't have yeast,
Can we?
hold on.
We'll pick it up and show them and then put it back.
Okay. If you
And
don't,
then go wash our hands.
thank you. If you don't have yeast, I've linked some videos where you can watch a yeast activity or an experiment. So we've got yeast in a bowl. We've got
Whoa! Stop. I'm gonna show them these.
sure. So we've got yeast rolls. We are making yeast rolls right now. Ellie is grabbing our bowl.
Oh wow, the yeast has got bigger. You see when the yeast sits out for a long time, it gets bigger, which makes it like a bigger loaf of bread when you're ready to eat it.
And more sin.
More sin. Yes. So
more sin.
the yeast, we're not going to touch it. It's still rising. But yeast represents sin, and we've
Touchy at the end.
We've been talking about how yeast and sin will kind of puff up your life and change it and make it look kind of gross.
Ding, ding.
Ellie?
Can I show them?
No, you're not going to show them that yet. We're talking about yeast. Okay? So any yeast activity that you have, you can talk about the way that yeast represents sin in the Bible.
Water.
That's fine. 1, observe the yeast, just the 2 bowls.
Oh,
2,
the red represents the wine. I forgot.
You can make some yeast rolls like we're doing right now, and those are going to be delicious.
Delicious.
I've linked a yeast experiment here that you can watch. If you don't have yeast in your house, you can watch it. If you do have yeast and you want to do this experiment, stop the video at 1 minute because they'll show you what happens.
A lot
at
of
the
extra
end.
stuff.
Okay? Don't watch the end if you don't want to know what happens. Stop at 1 minute, and then we'll see with the yeast and sugar experiment what happens. Now, what can you learn from that video? Well, in that video, since yeast represents sin, if you've got sin in your life, you'll see what happens when you add more and more sugar to your body if you got sin. How about that? So, kids probably won't get it, but anyway.
Yeah,
The yeast experiment is there. I'm going to show that one to them. I found it looked pretty cool. We don't have all the materials, but they'll be able to watch it. Okay? And then I've also linked a yeast and sin video that's maybe for the older kids. For 3rd through 6th grade can probably handle it.
Wait, but then that will be 1st grade.
After you've done some of the yeast activities, it really helps pull together the yeast and sin connection that they talk about in our reading this week, which was Exodus chapter 12, verses 1 through 28. Okay, activity number 2 you can do this week.
Right? Oh.
Activity number 2 you can do this week is the Seder plate. So you can talk about the Seder and the Passover, and they're really excited to show you their plates. You can come. Hold on. So you can get as, I'm going to show the plate and then hand it to you. This is Ellie's plate. There you go.
Which the red represents the wine.
Okay, hold on.
It represents.
Okay.
And the orange represents God. First, we're changing.
So she made her plate to represent some things. This is Elisha's plate.
Oh, and the brown represents the bread.
Okay. And this is Ezra's plate. We used...
It's, this is lamb, this is herbs, bitter herbs, and this is unleavened bread.
Good. So I put down in the description a video about the Seder plate, and then you can create your own Seder plate. I want us just to focus on the 3 items that are mentioned in the passage that we read this week in Exodus, okay? So that's the lamb, the bitter herbs, and the unleavened bread. Now you can make this as simple or as complicated as you want. You can draw a plate on a piece of paper. You can do something like what we did with just construction paper and glue, or you can get crazy with it. Glue real stuff to your plate.
For the lamb.
Cook a lamb dinner, do whatever you want. Just some way for the kids to talk and think about the symbolism in the Seder plate. Okay? Number 3 activity will be just write down all of your questions. And this is also your challenge for this week. Write down all the questions.
And this is for when Jesus rose.
Okay, we're all done with your plate. So hand me your plates. Hand me your plate.
At the Seder.
The songs, they've been singing the songs all week. It's
Get off.
a little bit. It's a good thing.
It's a good one. It's Lion King.
All right.
It's called a Lion King Passover.
So let's calm down. I'm going to talk about 3 and 4 really quickly. Number 3 is to write down all your questions. The reason why writing down your questions is good is, number 1, I want to know what they are so I can help you with them, or actually I just want to know what they are.
Or me, so I can help.
And number 2, it helps for you to have the questions that your kids ask, because then you can talk about them when you're in your house, which you are for a long, when you're walking around, when you're lying down,
When you lay down
and when you rise up, right? So you have this list of questions. They're going to keep shooting questions at you, and I'm talking to parents. They're going to keep asking questions. What's this? What's that? I'll actually read you my list of questions that I have. And that's why I wanted you to send me yours, and then we'll see what the kids are asking.
Seder plate.
All right, so the questions...
Let me show you that.
The questions my kids asked while we were going through some of the videos and things about the Seder, let me have your stick now, were,
I didn't need anyone.
1, why did it have to be a baby sheep, the Passover lamb that was sacrificed? They asked, did all of the Israelites put the blood on, or did they not? I'm reading your question, so wait. Who is the destroyer? They asked, what is the Seder? Then they asked, can we put blood on our door and God will pass over our house?
Today.
With the plague. So I said, well, we are planning to stay inside the house and we do want the plague to pass over our house and not enter our home. So yeah, we can do that. So that is why you see they are dressed up as Israelites. And that's actually activity number 4. So some good things came out of them just asking me questions. I was writing down their questions. They went back on YouTube. They're watching more videos and really soaking in the lesson. So activity number 3 was just to write down all of your questions. Challenge this week also by Sunday, send me all those questions they ask you because they are important and they help guide our learning. I read all of your questions already.
Can I tell them something?
Go ahead.
If you want to dress like a Israelite, first you would need same color
A rubber band.
clothes. You would need a shirt and put the top of the shirt on your head, and then put the rubber band
Around
your head, and then you need a shirt, like a black shirt.
Not a black
any
shirt.
color you want, but no pictures on it. And then after you can get a jacket. You can get a jacket and put the jacket down here. My friend Olive, she did that for instead of putting it around her waist, she just zipped it up. I zipped mine backwards. So
And then
if you have a stick, you can use a broom or a stick. You can use it for a staff, because when God told them to eat, they
had to eat the whole meal and put their sandals on and have their staff in their hand like they were going to leave immediately.
Exactly. That's number 4. So they did it for me. Act it out is number 4. My kids are really into acting it out. Sometimes they do this with other things in their room on their own. I don't really have a script. They just get dressed up and act it out. So put a belt on your waist, sandals on your feet, a staff in your hand. That's what it said in our reading this week. And I say, grab some grape juice. Hold on a minute. Grab some grape juice or some Kool-Aid, red Kool-Aid. See what happens. Kool-Aid! Right? Just make sure that you cover your doorpost first. Maybe with some cardboard around your doorpost and then...
No, paint it red.
And
Paint it
paint it red on the plague will
Maybe. We're not there yet. We just have some Israelites with... You guys have sandals on your feet?
Yep.
Let me see. Show them your sandals.
Those are yours.
I don't have to show them our feet.
Okay. They got their sandals on and
My sandal.
they've been being Israelites for a while. So that's number 4. Number 1, observe yeast. Number 2, oh, here's Ellie's sandal. Okay, number 1, observe yeast. Number 2, make a Seder plate. Number 3, write down all of your questions so you can be talking about them this week. And then number 4, act out the story. Those 4 activities, you don't have to do them all, but those activities will help deepen your understanding of our Passover lesson this week.
Yeah,
At the bottom, underneath, when you click show more, I've given you guys some longer videos and some movies to watch. So you guys are inside, you want to watch a movie.
Like the Moses one.
Yes. So I've got a Seder for Kids video, which is about 10 minutes. It's a little bit longer. So if they want to watch a Messianic Passover Seder, they can watch that. We've had, I'll write that down. I've linked the VeggieTales movie, Mo and the Big Exit, so the story of Moses, and it includes the Passover. And then there's a link to watch The Prince of Egypt on YouTube. You can rent that for $3.99, or you can watch it some other way if you know how to watch it. But I sent you the link to The Prince of Egypt.
Mommy,
There's some more.
I need help putting back on my sandal.
You need your sandal back on? Okay. Here, sit right here. That should help you put your sandal back on. All right, some other good resources down at the bottom for activities and stuff they can do. I've got 2 apps for you, Okay. App number 1 is the Bible app for kids.
And
Love
the
this.
second one.
Hold on. Love this app. There's a story on there. I've got it on my phone. It's for kids 8 and under. Best for
And
kids.
4.
Yes, 4 years counts. Okay, so 8 and under, best for kids 8 and under, the Bible app for kids. There is a story on there called
I put a little bit of
Called-
mustard on yours.
Let My People Go, which we'll talk about the Passover in there.
Just a
Second good resource, since I gave you an app for the smaller kids, I'll give you an app for the older kids. That is Guardians of Ancora digital game.
It's a very, very fun game.
Yeah,
it is!
you can pick your person, and then you train, and then you like follow Jesus.
Okay, so this one
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
have...
what it's about.
Can we show them?
No. I put the link in the video at the bottom. This one doesn't have the Passover because the game follows Jesus, but it will follow him excuse me, for a lesson next week, which will be the Last Supper.
It will
When
be-
Jesus
The last one
celebrates
will
the
be
Passover.
mine.
So, and Guardians of
No.
Ancora digital game link is down there at the bottom for you.
Super duper fun. They give you quiz and an obstacle. They give you quizzes and obstacles, and it's one of my favorite games. I want to download it when I'm a kid. I mean, when I'm a teenager.
When he's a teenager, he wants to re-download it. Right now, it's on my phone. I was sent another good resource today. The Good News Club is doing online lessons.
Good.
So I have that. Their episode 1 is called Jesus Almighty. They're just more Bible lessons to do. I know there's tons of links and resources going around right now. Good News Club is a solid one from Child Evangelism Fellowship. So the link's down there so you can watch it. And also, just for fun, I put a link to all of the the dance videos
Ellie, can you move?
for our VBS last year, which was the Incredible Race. So if you want to go in there, watch your favorite VBS dance videos, just because you are looking for something to do, you can. Okay? So at the bottom, we've got some good resources, apps, games, movies, things that you can do this week, all to help reinforce this history lesson. Okay? And I think that's about it. So have fun. Study your lessons. Spend your free time watching videos, watching movies that connect to the lesson. This should kind of just go throughout your whole life. And I hope you learn a lot this week. Enjoy. Say bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
And
And
also,
also, P.S.
can you, like, you could get bitter herbs and unleavened bread and an egg
Yes.
and eat it.
And eat it.
And matzah.
So these things obviously will all come up. I don't know. We didn't have any matzah here, but they definitely asked questions about the Seder. Wanted to eat some unleavened bread. We've got crackers. We've got tortillas. We've got other things. And as you know, we're making the yeast rolls, which is leavened bread. But the point was just to watch the yeast. Okay. So anyway, all done. We'll see you guys on Sunday. Bye-bye.